In the blue corner, Khaya Mackillop.
So we see Khaya Mackillop coming down to the cage. This one a catch weight at 150, and a weight class that's near and dear to your heart.
Yeah, this is the one. This is the one I was excited for. It's the first time they booked a featherweight fight with Palace Athena. Of course, it's catch weight, but aside from that, myself being a featherweight, Chris Cyborg in the building being a featherweight, we've been at all the events, and I think we're both pretty excited about this one, this matchup here.
It was interesting talking to Kayla the other day in that interview segment. She said that she felt like that was going to be the hardest part of her weekend, was having to sit down and talk about herself. She was not interested in an interview process at all, and said that she felt like once she was done that, then she was smooth sailing the rest of the way.
Based on what I've seen, I think she'll have to get used to it, though. she's pretty impressive. She's a very impressive young lady with her wrestling background and, jumping straight into pro after 2 amateur fights. She's definitely one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, and you can see the difference in build with these two fighters when you look at the weight class, because when both Khaya and Miranda came in, to weigh-ins, they're stacked. They're big frame. They've got a big build to them, and it is clear that there's going to be some power in the cage. So Khaya Mackillop comes in, takes her spot.
Our next fighter making their way to the Palladium in the red corner, Miranda Barber.
So Miranda Barber coming to us out of Florida, Boca Raton, making her way north of the border to face off against Khaya Mackillop. And again, Barber, also a very experienced fighter and ready to make her way out, said that she needed to transition into MMA after getting thrown out of basketball for too many flagrant fouls. She said she was chasing girls up into the stands. She was ready to take them down. So she said her coach said, why don't we try boxing first?
Right, that's probably a good choice.
Makes sense
Sounds
to
like
me.
A good outlet.
Yeah, it makes sense to me when I asked her, are you ready for your fight? She's like, I'm aggressive. Of course I am. I was like, okay, there it is. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Basketball, not for you.
Called herself the She-Hulk.
Love that,
in
actually.
her promo.
It's a great nickname.
Which means she is ready to step in with that anger. As we take a look at the tail of the tape, Mackillop, the much younger fighter, a little bit taller, a little bit heavier, resulting in that catchweight contract. Not much of a reach advantage despite being a little bit taller. Again, making her pro debut, Miranda Barber at 1-3, looking to get back on the winning side of the ledger here at Palace Athena.
From that promo, you can really just see I love this sport because so many different personalities come to this cage.
Oh yeah.
And you can just see the shy, giggling Khaya, and then the just all business. I don't want to say angry, but like you said, aggressive and just.
That's the best part of this
loving
sport.
to
You're
fight.
right.
They're so different, but they would probably hang out after the fight too.
Yeah, they're best friends after this.
There's no shy Khaya in the Palladium
no,
now, though.
This is not
Khaya
the shy
is
part.
here
Yeah,
for business.
She's confident.
Which means that it's time for business, and there's only one guy to talk to when it's business time, and that's Don Andrews.
Fight fans, our next fight scheduled 3 5-minute rounds to be a catchweight fight at 150 pounds. This fight sponsored by Beam Radiology. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 5'7" tall, her official weight 150.5 pounds. Fighting out of Paterex Combat Center in Victoria, BC, Canada, and tonight making her pro MMA debut, please welcome Khaya Mackillop. Across the ring, her opponent fighting out of the red corner. Standing 5'6" tall, her official weight 147 pounds even. Her pro MMA record, 1 win, 3 losses, no draws. Fighting out of A&M BJJ in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Please welcome Miranda She-Hulk Barber. When the cage door closes, your referee in charge is Andy Social.
So Andy Social is our referee. Seconds are out, which means we are ready to get underway with the first MMA fight here at Palace Athena 3.
Can we talk about that pop that we just heard when we got the introduction for Khaya?
Yeah, Khaya.
Calgary is here, man.
I thought they pumped in like a
Holy
fake
jeez.
audience. It was so loud.
Oh yeah, that is not the Khaya that was in the interview
No.
yesterday.
Not at all.
That
And
is-
welcome.
She means business.
You know, with the lack of MMA experience she has a lot of competition experience. She came up wrestling from a young age, and you know they're competing constantly in wrestling. So she's used to the spotlight.
Oh.
Wow.
She's got
And with a good kick.
Yeah, very. Oh, boy.
And now we're in
Barber's
her
gotta be
world that
careful
she's
here.
Wrestling. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I would definitely say Barber has maybe the advantage with the boxing, you know, up on the feet. But when we're in the wrestling world, this is dangerous for Barber.
Mackillop, a nice knee there up against the cage as well. Barber trying to return.
And Khaya's using that nice wide stance that we kind of saw earlier tonight too. It's growing more and more, using that side stance. And especially when you're clinched up against a cage like this, this is where she wants to be as a wrestler, looking for that leg already. Oh, nasty knee.
She's putting a lot into her movements. Like she tried to force a takedown and she's throwing hard. So I hope that the cardio will keep up, as the fight goes on. But if she needs it, I guess, how long the fight goes.
Yeah, that's something. And now we're back into the
I'll
regular.
definitely say Miranda looks much more calm.
Yeah.
She's kind of going to pick her shots, I think.
Well, and again, even though she has that combat experience, even though she has that, she's still making her pro debut.
Wow.
And a big punch in there, but she's still making her pro debut. And we talked earlier about that adrenaline dump, right?
Yeah.
That, you're in there, you get through round one, and then now all of a sudden you take that breath and your body kind of gets out of that fight or flight mentality even for a moment, which could be enough to hurt you.
Right. Yeah, your limbs feel like bricks.
Those first 5 minutes are crucial. And you could probably attest to this more than anybody. I mean, when you finished your first pro fight at 5 minutes, how'd you feel?
Not great. But this could also be a good strategy for the more experienced fighter.
Right.
We've seen it in pro fights even, they'll
Using
kind of let their opponent kind of gas out in the first round or two, and then they know they have the last, more often in a title fight when you have 5 rounds to play with, but it can happen even in a 3-round fight.
Barber certainly doesn't mind the spinning stuff.
Oh, wow. It seems every time Barber kind of leans over, Khaya's got a very quick response with a knee or a very quick left. It's great coaching on her end.
Well, again, just wearing her down up against the cage, too.
Yeah, those body shots are just going to do it.
And there it is. Yeah. And earlier in the round, she was looking for that single leg takedown, and she got it there. That was clean.
So she's kind of letting Miranda get to that half guard position, which isn't so bad when you're in MMA when you're on the top,
right,
raining down punches and in control. Yeah, especially she's pushed up against the fence, which is kind of like a whole other it's obviously a wall, but it can help the person on top just maintain the caged animal.
And like you said, this adrenaline dump. You want to be careful here just to make sure. This is it's a lot of punches.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to punch yourself out.
It looks like Miranda's going for the knee, kind of trying to dive in a little bit.
Notice that too. See if she can spin off it in a way. Looks like she's trying to.
Well, she said she feels like her jiu-jitsu would be an advantage in this fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible. She's been training for a long time, even though most of her career is, bare knuckle boxing, bare knuckle MMA, that kind of thing. But, she's doing, like I said, Khaya's doing a great job kind of maintaining that top position, even if it's switching positions over and over again.
Well, and that's that wrestling base, right? It's jiu-jitsu is very effective, but with great wrestlers, they're able to control your body in a way that doesn't necessarily rely on tying up your limbs.
And
they're able to be heavy.
And Khaya's doing a great job. This is where you want to be careful, though. I see her exuding a lot of power trying to get that hip toss over, and she's just got to be careful. This is 3 rounds. Let's not forget about that, right?
That's very true. Time will tell.
Nice work by Barber to be able to get back up. Although that may lead to
and there it is, the guillotine. She's got it. She's got it.
It's in deep.
That's in there. That is in there. That is in there.
It's in the neck. So.
Oh yeah.
Khaya is kind of just, I don't want to say
Kaya's
stuck
gotta be careful
or
here.
stalling. I think if she
She's
can
gotta
try
be
to raise
careful.
her hips.
She's got to be so careful right now. Look at the
Yeah, that's not the
face.
best way to defend it. Just pushing. You really want to try to.
She's got to
drive
survive
your
it.
shoulder.
Oh.
Yeah. Oof, I think that's a.
That is, look at the rush of blood that
Oh,
just came
yeah.
off of Kaya's face.
Yeah, kind of saved by the bell on that
Big
one.
time. That was deep.
So she gets to the end of round 1 in her pro debut. Khaya Mackillop looking very effective in the early going here against her opponent, Miranda Barber. So we take a look at some of the highlights from round number 1. There was that first kind of stumble as she went out to kick and caught her in that spinning back fist rotation.
And like Felicia said, being a wrestler, that's where you want to go. You slip, I'm taking advantage of that right away. Like, I'm not letting you get back up.
You see once they got against the cage, lots of knees, body strikes.
And we saw a great punt right there.
Right
That's
there.
it, right there. Great
Flush.
power in her punches too. You know, she's not just a wrestler.
She's got power in those hands too.
But Miranda definitely showed, you know, some savvy on the ground. Like you said, her jiu-jitsu might be, you know, her saving grace when it comes to like dealing with the wrestler. And let's see how the cardio is going to hold up for Khaya in the second round.
I've noticed in between rounds so far, Khaya is taking some deep breaths out there. Like I said, man, it's a long fight.
Well, it's her first 5-minute round too.
Exactly, yeah.
This is, you know, it's not
New
a 5-minute
territory.
round at the gym. It's a 5-minute round that's in the cage, and that does make a difference.
With a very game opponent.
Right. It's going to be hard to put away Miranda.
Yeah.
Well, because she only gets stronger as she gets angrier.
Yes.
Right? That's how She-Hulks
She-Hulk,
work.
man.
Have we made her angry yet?
That's how She-Hulks work.
I don't know.
I try not to.
The one thing I think Barber has to really do and focus a little bit more on in this round is eliminating those angles for Mackillop or for Khaya to come in and get that takedown. She's done when she did like that wide base stance right there. That was a perfect example of that. Eliminate that and get away from this kind of style, because the more this goes, this is more Kaya's realm right here.
Yeah, I think there's just a power, there's a strength
Yeah.
difference, you know, and it's hard to, I mean, technique will help, obviously, but when someone that a lot stronger than you is pushing you against the fence, it's tough to just reverse that.
There's no panic in Barber's face
No.
either.
No.
As she's defending up against the cage, as she's eating these strikes, just very, you know, matter of fact, moving on. You know, she seems to have no, she doesn't look at all difficult.
Good break there.
Yeah, some strikes were there. I'm not sure if maybe Kayla was holding on to the cage as well.
And that could be if, you know, if the person that's in the better position is maybe having a foul, like grabbing the cage.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that she was, but then that's a pretty good, you know, good call to set them up.
Yeah, just I
neutral
thought
again.
it was on the
Yeah.
far side
Yeah.
from us. I
Right,
couldn't
right.
see it either.
Yeah.
But it looked like that was the angle that the referee attacked from and then broke them. So
Yeah.
I thought that might be why in that moment.
I'm really interested that Miranda's throwing
Yeah,
some, like,
yeah,
you know,
some-
I don't want to say karate kicks, but like some traditional kicks, some turning kicks, and, you know.
But I think that
hooks and stuff
favors her
like
here.
that. In a way, it does because it's unexpected, I think. But
Right.
it also,
And as a wrestler, you're trying to grab onto that body.
right, but sometimes if you kick, that kind of opens up your hips for a shot. So,
Exactly.
you know, kind of dangerous at the same time, but sometimes being unexpected is better than, you know, anything else.
That was a quick
Yeah.
split
That
again.
was a split.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that time I don't think I think Andy Social's more interested in the action.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair. Mr. Serious.
Yeah. Referee
That was a
did-
very quick,
Yeah, I'm still
quick
trying to figure
split.
that one out.
Listen, we've had to mix some Muay Thai, you know.
Right,
maybe,
yeah.
maybe some of that's still going in his head, you know.
Right.
He's
No,
one of the best in the business, baby.
Yeah.
want to give a little bit of a moment. Just a moment ago, Miranda Barber brushed
Shrugged
the
it.
dirt off her shoulder
Shrugged it.
after taking a kick.
What are you talking about, kid? Let's go.
Still so present. I feel like she's starting to find her range and she's landing some good shots, or, you know, definitely more than earlier in the round.
Well, and Kayla slowed down.
Big time.
You know, from round one to now, Kayla's moving, Kaya's moving slower. Excuse me. You know, and whether or not that's a recovery spot or whatever it is, she's not as aggressive right now as she has been through the first half of this fight.
That's that's a huge takedown. That was a super necessary takedown in this round.
Well, it gives her the emphasis point, right? And again, she can go back to working this ground and pound that was very effective for her in round number 1.
And
she needs to watch her elbows, though.
Yeah, and like Khaya said, this is her world, right? Like, this is where she wants to be in this fight. But let's not forget, she also almost got choked out. The jiu-jitsu from Barber is for real.
And Barber trying to...
You can see already she's trying to almost grab the arm. Like, I can't see it from this side, but it looks...
I'm guessing that Miranda's trying to set up an arm bar, and Kaya's trying to keep those elbows tucked in. Yeah. I would definitely, if I were Khaya, try to at least get to the half guard. Yeah, you don't want to sit in Miranda's guard at all. You don't want to stay here and risk, triangles and arm bars and all the other stuff that can get thrown out.
She's landed a couple elbows though that you could feel on this side of the cage.
Yeah, and the good position, that she's in right now is that Miranda's neck is like crooked up against the fence, right? She's like got her all. I don't want to say all jacked up, but she's all jacked up on the fence. So
you could say it.
It's a tough position to have movement from the bottom when your neck is crooked. So that's good for her.
Yeah, when you're all pretzeled up, to find the euphemism there,
Right.
you gotta figure out a way. Well, and it's gonna be difficult for her to stretch out an arm bar or anything else because there's nowhere for her to go.
This is a big second half of the round for Khaya. And look at this, she goes to take it back, and she's got it locked in. Now we got a tale of 2 rounds essentially when it comes to the stoppage. Will she hold on for 15 seconds? That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. It's over. A win for Khaya Mackillop in her pro debut to stay undefeated as a mixed martial artist. Found the gap in Miranda Barber's jiu-jitsu, found the back rear naked choke, and did not take long to set that one off and become a winner here in her debut.
Listen, we talked about maybe her having that adrenaline dump after the first round, and it looked like it was actually going to be a thing. She came out a little sluggish in that second round, but that wrestling experience comes in so handy right in that moment where you're like, hey, okay, she's also tired. And Barber was trying to throw her strikes. Let's not act like she wasn't, a little fatigued as well. There was some deep breaths coming from her corner, but as you saw the fight progress and go on, it just kind of looked like if this went to the ground, the best Barber chance she had was that guillotine in the first round, and then Khaya coming in exploding with this takedown.
Yeah.
That was a huge game changer for her. And of course, again, nasty ground and pound from her, being a bigger presence, a bigger fighter, and just luckily got it done with 15 seconds left on the clock. And it could have went the other way in the first round. Realistically, she could have been finished, Khaya herself. So great comeback for Khaya here.
Absolutely. So it looks like we are all ready to go with the official decision. For that official decision, we'll just need another moment here as looks like we're good to go, which means we can head inside the cage to Mr. Don Andrews.
Fight fans, the results are in. Your winner by submission, 4 minutes, 57 seconds of the second round. In the blue corner, Khaya Mackillop.
So Khaya Mackillop is your winner, which means that she will take the center of the palladium with our Felicia Spencer.
Khaya Mackillop, tell us about this pro debut. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm so excited. That's awesome. I'm kind of speechless, to be honest.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, the fight was awesome to watch. Very exciting. We're all wondering about the guillotine. How did that feel?
Oh, I thought I was going to go to sleep. I was like, oh my God, that's tight. But then, short time, so we just stuck it out, and here we are.
Is the finish, is the choke that you finished with, was that something that you practiced for this fight?
Not at all. I just saw it and I was like, I'm gonna jump on it. Yeah, so.
Is there anyone that you'd like to thank?
My parents, my coaches, my team, just everyone that's helped me get here. I've been dreaming about this for a long time, so it's really exciting to be here.
We can't wait to see you back. Everyone give her another round of applause.
So Khaya Mackillop is victorious in her pro debut here at Palace Athena, which means we are ready for our next fight. Let's learn a little bit more about those two fighters right now.
My name is Brenda Vargas. I'm 25 years old. I fight out of Moffa in Mississauga, Ontario.
Tell us about your journey into martial arts and where it all began.
So I started martial arts when I was 15 years old. I didn't really start because of fighting. I started more so for mental